Okay, I think we are live. Hello to anybody either watching live or watching this back. I was waiting to see if anyone actually comes in. Just checking everything's working. I think it is. Thankfully, looks like I have a few viewers. I think just refresh the page behind the scenes. Have a look. Make yourself known in the chats if you are here, if you're watching live. And yeah, so this video is probably the last sort of live stream of the year, given there's only like 2 days left of 2021. And again, it's another sort of off-the-cuff one, really, as these streams always tend to be. But it does have an idea behind it, which is ranking all of the figures that were released this year, the Doctor Who figures. Majority of them, via B&M, but of course the second Doctor and TARDIS set from Character, which is an online exclusive, in the summer as well. So I think there are about 26 items in total. In fact, I should probably have. I've got an image of them. I should probably have put that up, but never mind. Too much of a fact to get now. But let's just take a look in the chat. Hello, the Celestial Toy Gazer. Hello, Whovian Espresso Extra, 2 Million Like Head, hello, The Unconventional Polymath, hello, JM2002-096 Gaming, hello, David Butler, hello, Evan Marnie, also, hello. So, yes, please do make yourself known in the chats, again, if you're here, and I've left the link to this tier list, which I've made myself. I'm going to be using the infamous sort of tier list design, with the striped colours and everything on the thumbnail that you'll have seen. So yeah, we're going to be using that. The link to it is in the description below if you want to have a go. I will just test that. I think it is working. Yeah, I've just clicked it myself, so that should be working for you. So. I will just give it a couple more minutes before we get going with this for good, just to give other people a chance to join. In fact, I should probably remember to advertise this on Twitter as well, just that people know it's happening if they want to come over. But yeah, meanwhile in the chat, any questions you've got for me or anything, just generally, it's the end of the year, it's the last live stream of the year. Just throw anything at me, as long as it's sort of not below the belt or not weird, and I'll answer. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Hello, Ollie Linklater. Hello, A up. Fantastic. 2 Million Like Head. If the Vord dagger doesn't make first, there will be trouble. Noted. Right, I will just advertise this on Twitter then. We'll probably give it until 9:10. We started off about 5-ish minutes ago, maybe not quite that long. So let's give it another couple of minutes for people to join, and I'll do a tweet about it. But yeah, in the meantime, do make yourself known in the chat. Do say hello. I'll say hello back, and yeah, just throw at me any questions you might have, either about thoughts about these figures or just anything really. And I'll just make sure this is available on Twitter. Live now on YouTube, discussing or ranking maybe the Doctor Who figures released 2021. And I'll just give the link to the tier maker as well. That'd be a good idea. Have a go yourself here. Make your own. And a fun little emoji to go with that of a standing up person. That's the emoji I tend to use if I want to have an emoji for a figure, because there isn't like an emoji for an action figure, so I just do like the person standing, and then it's like a sort of a bit like an action figure. Hashtag Doctor Who and tweet. Okay. So, viewers and meetings going on in the chat. We've currently got about 20 viewers, I think, which is great. Live. Evan Marnie, when did you start collecting Doctor Who figures? I started collecting Doctor Who figures not long after I became a fan, really. So back in 2008, just sort of that summer, I think. The first set I ever got was the Utopia gift set with the Doctor, Martha, Professor Yana, and then the Johnson Master in Professor Yana's clothes. Still got all those figures to this day. Not quite sure which 10th Doctor it is. Out of the multiple 10th Doctors I've got, I'm not quite sure which one it was that was actually my first, because I've got so many of them now. But yeah, I think the Professor Yana is still on my shelf. All the other ones, or maybe the Martha as well, and all the other ones, like the Johnson Master, I've replaced him since with the like the updated paint deco version from the Galth Wave. So yeah, it was that. And if you want to find out more about that, Miles and I did a video about our first ever Doctor Who figures around about a year ago, just over a year ago, in September of last year, or around about then. Nice little video, so do go and check that out. The Celestial Toygazer, what do we think the next History of the Daleks sets will contain? Yeah, so a question as well for the chat, perhaps, if anyone wants to chip in with that one. I think it is a safe bet to assume that we're going to get another set for Planet of the Daleks with the Supreme and like another anti-light wave one, whatever it's called, the like transparent Dalek. I think if that doesn't happen, there'll be a bit of a riot on the hands for character. So yeah, I think that's a fair bet, and they have sort of alluded to the fact that there could be multiple sets for certain stories, so I think it'll be that. And then a Death to the Daleks set next up. So there's two versions of the Death Daleks, aren't there? There's one that's got the gun, and one that's got the special gun that's not quite a gun, that's like a different type of gun, isn't it? So I guess just like one each of those. And then if we're going to get 4 sets next year, like we've had this year, then in the autumn wave, then like 2 Genesis Daleks with a minor difference between them, like different coloured guns. I think did one of them have like a silver gun and one a bronze gun or something along those lines. And then rounding off the year with the Destiny Daleks, I guess, which will be interesting. Again, will they have 2 sets of that story? Because I think there's at least 3 variants from Destiny of the Daleks. I don't own any of them myself, but there's the so-called Suicide Bomber Dalek with the bombs around it, and then there's one with one with silver slats and one with black slats or something like that. Not quite sure. I think there are 2 versions of the standard like goon drone. So that would be my predictions. Yeah. I'd love to be surprised by any of those, for them to sort of deviate from that, but that's, I think, what we're probably going to get. Whovian Espresso Extra. Did you get the Dalek Bobble Buddies? I did get the Dalek Bobble Buddies. In fact, I will just go back to that screen for a moment. I will just go and find the Dalek Bubble Buddies and show them to you live on stream. The suspense is unreal. I don't know how best to do this, really. Like 2 in each hand, maybe? There we go. The Dalek Bubble Buddies. They are curious little things. Yes, this is obviously just the first set. And then they've brought out another set very recently, just completely out of nowhere, which retails for double the price. Contains 2 more figures. So the maths there doesn't quite work out, does it? These were 15 quid, so 4 quid each, just under. And then if you're getting 6 for 30 quid, that's 5 quid each. So yeah, this is the better option in terms of your value. But there are some nice looking Daleks in that second set, like a Chase Guard Dalek. There's a Death to the Daleks Dalek. There is oh god, what else is there? Planet Supreme, isn't there? And one another one, and then you get the I think it's the Necros Dalek and the Gold Supreme like re-released again, plus the 4 new ones. But yeah, in terms of these ones, this is what they're like. If you don't know, yeah, I will be showing these off in my December collection update sometime soon. In fact, my Christmas collection update will be coming first. That'll be coming tomorrow at time of broadcast, I guess you could say, of this live stream. So look out for that tomorrow. But yeah, they're very weird. I mean, that's like the underside of them for people that don't know. So they've got like this spring, and that's like a separate piece. The whole of the Dalek itself is like a separate piece, and then they just stand on this very loose spring. And so if I just get something flat like this stand here, the effect is that you would sort of put them on. It's not quite working, is it? And they sort of like bounce about like that, and then you like press the head down and they do a funky thing. It's not quite working on this surface because it's not like a proper hard surface, but yeah, on a table or chest of drawers or something where you can just give it a bash, the surface. Knock it. They do go wild, yeah, and sort of bounce about. So they do their job. They're nice enough. It's nice to have them in the shops. I mean, I wouldn't say they're an essential buy by any means, really, but they are intriguing, and I was intrigued by them. That's why I picked them up. And I don't really regret picking them up, but they are very weird, granted. So. Yeah, make of them what you will. I'll just put them down here for the time being, and they can watch me while I do the stream. But I was going on a massive tangent about those. So let's just quickly catch up with the chat, and then we must get into this tier list, of course, ranking all the figures released in 2021. If you've joined us since the start of the stream, that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, please do leave a like if you're enjoying this so far. And please do make yourself known in the chat and give me any questions you might have, or thoughts or opinions or anything. Harry, would you and Miles ever do a podcast? Never say never. I mean, probably it's not something we've got on the cards at the moment. The format of our just standard collabs works quite well, and doing a few of those every now and then. But who knows? Who knows, really? Nathan Smurthwaite, which collection box set do you think will be next? Probably season 20, maybe. Finally, unless they delay it for some other reason, like not being able to go to Amsterdam or whatever. Like some travel restrictions related reason like that. If not that, I mean, I'd love to see. What would I like to see? We've had a Tom Baker season, which I haven't picked up yet myself, but I will be doing very soon, season 17. Yeah, I think a Peter Davison season is the next sort of sensible option, logical option, or another Pertwee season maybe, or maybe a 60s season. Not quite sure. Not another Tom season. Obviously, it's not going to be that, so don't know. I guess you either go one or two ways, don't you? You go back into the 80s, or you go earlier than the Fourth Doctor stuff, back into the early 70s, maybe into the 60s. They're the two options they've got, so it'll be very exciting to see. I guess we might get an announcement for that in the early part of next year, January maybe. Don't know really. Ollie Linklater, have you got any other sets from this new wave apart from the Five Doctors? Well, I will be divulging that later in the video. Look forward to that. Harry, do you think there should be a History of the Cybermen or History of the Master line or series at B&M? And what are my predictions for the next B&M sets and character online exclusives? Well, I'll answer the predictions more generally, I guess, as I go through the video. But I would say yes to a History of the Cybermen line, certainly. That's something that I think, if the B&M stuff is still going, like in a decade's time or whatever, I mean, it probably won't be, but, if it is, and they've run out of Dalek stories to do and Dalek sets, then yeah, go for it. It'll be great to see some Cybermen packs, maybe, I don't know. I guess if they leave it long enough, then maybe they could probably just get away with doing 2 Cybermen for 20 quid, with inflation and everything and things rising across the board. But if not, then like a 3-pack or just some other format or whatever, or you could do 2 of them for 15 quid maybe. It'd be really nice to have like a way to collect all the Cybermen figures, particularly for a minting box collector, to have them all in nice uniform boxes that are all the same. That'd be really great. So I'd say yes to both of those. Yeah, definitely the Cybermen and the Masters as well. Not as essential, but again, it's that thing of having them all available in the same packaging. That'd be really nice. So yeah, I would definitely not complain if they did that. Just quickly through the rest of these. Kian Lee Parsley, do you think we'll get any 13th Doctor era figures anytime soon? If so, which ones do you think I want to see that are doable? I hope we do. I mean, God knows at this stage. And that's something to address as well as we go through the figures that have been released this year. That obviously there weren't any 13th Doctor era ones, any current era ones, which is a massive shame, I think. And yeah, so I don't know whether to expect any next year now that Flux has gone out. My gut feeling is no, to be honest, which is a sorry state of affairs. They're not making current era stuff. And that they haven't really given it a massive chance, to be honest. And besides, like, some of them went down well, like the Recon Dalek in particular. And I think if they did the Defense Drone Daleks, they would go down very well as well, and the Fugitive Doctor and the Master and all that sort of stuff. So I'd love to see them. And yeah, Harry there is saying a Flux set would be good with the Dark Coat 13 Dan and the Sontaran. Yeah, I mean, I'd take any of that. Any character from Flux, basically, I would take at this stage. In terms of what's doable, yeah, they could do the Dark Coat 13. People have been saying for ages, do a Kablam Man with the Brigadier figure, different head and hands. People have made customs of that. People have 3D printed their own parts and made that. It's mad that characters haven't done it themselves. What else is doable? Like maybe a Dan figure with a new head sculpt, and they've reused all the primeval bodies already nearly. So I don't know. I don't know really. I don't know what to think on that. I would love to see them. I would take anything they throw at us, but they just aren't throwing anything at the moment, which is sad. So yeah. Evan Marnie, what is your favourite Doctor Who figure? Again, very general question. I'll perhaps answer that a bit later on. Have a think about it. Celestial Toyeza got the second Dalek Bubble Buddies set this morning. Very nice indeed. Whovian Espresso Extra thinks we might get season 9 maybe at some point next year. Yeah, for its 50th anniversary. Yeah, the 50th anniversary since it was broadcast. That would be nice. That'd be nice. And it would make sense. Yeah, season 9, I can see that happening. Out of all the Purge seasons, I can see them doing, like season 9 or maybe season 11. I guess they'll leave season 7 till a bit later on, maybe, just in case they want to like perfect the restoration work on those stories or whatever. But I think, we're just about to date there. I've got some comment about Mark Strickson, who played Turlo, being in Australia or New Zealand or something. The message seems to have disappeared, but it was something like that, which is stopping them doing season 21 apparently. That'd be a good season C, actually, season 21. I'd take any of the Peter Davison seasons because I've caught up with some of them on BritBox now, some of the stories I hadn't seen, like the King's Demons, what else was there? Planet of Fire, things like that I hadn't seen. I've watched them now on BritBox, but I don't own them in the flesh. Generally across the board, my Pete Davison DVD Blu-ray collection was quite sparse until season 19 came out, and so it would be great for me to own more of those stories, really. I've got Tyler Solly. Hello, Tyler Solly. Talking about 13th Doctor era figures. Sontaran would be good, easy, relatively, 5-inch Cyberman Warrior, of course, why not? Come on. It would be so great. But anyway, I could get lost in the chat forever, so I won't spend any longer on that. We will go now to this screen here. That was smooth, wasn't it? So, yes, just in case anyone has joined since we began, sort of however long ago now, I can't remember, about 60, 20 minutes maybe, I don't know. We are ranking all of the Doctor Who figures released by B&M and also the Character Online exclusive of the year in 2021 with this handy tier list. You can make your own via the link in the video description. I'll also put it in the chat, actually, if I can just find it again. And yeah, without any further ado, then let's get straight onto this. The first time I've ever done a tier list on YouTube before. I've seen other people tackle it before, similar formats. So should be fun, I guess. And yeah, I always find it enjoyable when other people do these. So hopefully the same will apply here. So please do feel free to throw in your own thoughts on these figures in the chat as we go through them. I will try my best to stay up to date with the chat as well as we go through as well. So, first of all, we have the online exclusive of the year, the single online exclusive. Shame we're not seeing more of these, actually. I think, we're getting one a year at the moment, which is okay. But I think there was a feeling when the Mechanist Daleks came out and they did so well that, we might get multiple sets a year. It's not happened, has it? So, but yeah, this was a really nice set when it was announced, and a massive surprise as well. Well, at least before it leaked. It leaked a few days before the actual announcement. The Second Doctor and TARDIS from the Abominable Snowmen, of course. So, I think this has just instantly got to go to the top tier. I should probably have listed the tiers actually before we get going. Must buy is the top tier. Then pleasantly surprised is tier A for the ones that, you were pleasantly surprised by, basically. That were better than you were expecting. Wait till it's reduced is the sort of middle tier, which is like, it's okay, but could go either way with it. Can't figure it out is the sort of penultimate tier, and then belongs in the bargain bin is like for anything that's just completely outrageous and abysmal and shouldn't have been made at all or produced or whatever, gone on the market. But I can't imagine any of these going on that tier, to be honest. So. Yeah, I think these two, Second Doctor in his fur coat and the TARDIS, have got to go in the top tier, because they were really great. A weird time to release them, like right in the middle of a heat wave in the UK, like back in July, I think it was, the middle to end of July. But just fantastic, as I say. A really nice surprise. I mean, I think I like the two of them. Which do I prefer? I think, just look at the TARDIS on the shelf. Maybe the TARDIS? I don't know. I think when I got them, I wasn't as struck by the Second Doctor as I thought I might be. But he has grown on me since. He's a cool figure. He's up on the shelf somewhere up there. And with the TARDIS as well, it was obviously the first electronic TARDIS we'd had in the range for a while. The first classic series electronic TARDIS since the initial batch back in 2009 and 10, which obviously lots of people, myself included, never got. So it was great to pick up one of those. But at the same time, we love to moan about, the B&M TARDISes don't have lights and sound. At the end of the day, they do just sit on the shelf, and I for one have not activated the lights and sound on my Abominable Snowmen TARDIS since it came out, to be honest. So it isn't as essential as we make it out to be. I mean, it's a nice feature to have. If I was a kid, then even better, obviously. But this is a collector's item, so I don't know. It is sold well because of that. I can see why they did it. Making it sounds and lights again, because it makes it stand out from the rest, from the B&M stuff. A very expensive set as well. I say that, £40. I think people were saying at the time that it's not too bad particularly compared to the previous Doctor TARDIS sets. And yeah, I guess. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, Harry, expensive but worth the money. Yeah, for sure. And the Celestial Toygazer, yeah. Funny how both the Abominable Snowmen and Eve of the Daleks sets came out not too far away from the announcements of their respective animations. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a really sort of weird sort of coincidence, really. That yeah, characters are working on figures from those stories round about the same time. It would have been great if they could have like synchronized the announcements a bit more, maybe. And like properly had that sort of sense of cohesion, but nevertheless, yeah, it still worked as it was. Hooven Espresso Extra digs my Matt Smith mug. Thank you very much. There it is, a lovely Matt Smith mug with Matt Smith on twice and the Doctor Who logo. I believe I got this Christmas Day 2013, I think, from my sister, because obviously that was when Matt Smith left. So it was sort of to mark the occasion, really, of his era. Which is very nice indeed. So, yeah. And he'll be keeping me hydrated throughout the stream. So, that is the only exclusive out of the way from character this year. As I say, a bit of a shame that we haven't had more of them. But what can you do? Hopefully there'll be one in a not too distant future next year. I mean, yeah, maybe in the chat that's a question for you guys, or the comments if you're watching this back, not live. What would you like to see for the next classic or character options exclusives as a whole? They don't have to be classic series ones. They could be new series ones. I mean, the trend does seem to be, well, for the whole of characters output at the moment, the trend does seem to be classic era stuff. But go wild. I mean, what would you like to see for the next one or the next ones? I mean, I speculated at the time they could do a third Doctor set next. Obviously, we've had a first Doctor set with Machinist Daleks. We've had a second Doctor set now as well. Pardon me. So they could do a third Doctor set logically next if they wanted to stick to that pattern of having one for each Doctor. In terms of what they could do like a third Doctor packaged with a Silurian, I think I said at the time. That'd be really great. Like an approximation of a Silurian, reusing the Sea Devil body without the net and with a few sculpted new parts on it. A new wrap maybe, depending on what the budget was. Or Bessie would be great. I mean, I don't expect them to do a Bessie, but that would be fantastic. Or something like, I mean, I was watching not too long ago, I think the channel is All Things Dalek, a channel I recently discovered. He'd done a couple of B&M and like character online exclusive prediction videos, and one of the ones he mentioned was like a Delgado master, suited master with the yellow tie and everything, packaged with 2 Carnival Autons from Terror of the Autons. Something along those lines would be pretty cool, I think. I mean, they don't look to be stretching the bank too much or stretching the things too much in terms of what these sets are. They contain some newly sculpted parts, more than you would get in the B&M sets, I guess, on the whole. Ish, maybe. For the Machinist Daleks, it's about the same, really. And then for this, you get a new coat and a new door for the TARDIS and stuff, and obviously the electronics as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Be realistic with your predictions, I guess, is the thing for that. But who knows? Who knows what we could get. So let's see a couple of the suggestions in the chat we've got. All right, so the Hooven Espresso Extra says the second Doctor and TARDIS set was actually cheaper than the original sets if you use an inflation calculator. Well, that is very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Doctor Adventures, hello guys. Barbara and Susan, yeah, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? That'd be fantastic. So to complete that original 60s lineup with the Doctor in, who we'll be getting onto in just a moment. James GB would love to see a third Doctor and Bessie. Yeah, I agree. Harry as well. Third Doctor and Pull Back and Go Bessie. That'd be fantastic. Whomobile, online exclusive from Celestial Toygazer. Dewan Master and Fugitive Doctor from Harry. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? A new series exclusive would be really great if they could invest in some tooling that way. I think we'd all love to see that. Or like defense drone Daleks that light up on the side panels. Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be so cool. The defense drone Daleks have made such good toys, and such good like 12-inch toys as well. You know, like remote control Daleks and stuff with the lights and sounds, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But anyway, Sontaran ship, Dr. Daniel. Okay, yeah, maybe a re-release of that, maybe with some differences, maybe, or I don't know, some other figure from one of those Sontaran stories. Dalek Apocalypse, a set based on Terry Nation's 4 Daleks, also the ones that he owned. Did he own 4 Daleks? I know there's like pictures of him with Daleks that he owned, with like colourful colour schemes, or colourful, like, you know, obscure colour schemes, like a red top or whatever, aren't they, and like different Daleks. So yeah, something a bit out of the box would be good, like that. The Unconventional Polymath. Would personally like to see a 9th Doctor Gelth set as an online exclusive for those that didn't get it. Okay, yeah, I could see them. Well, I could see them doing that as a B&M set, to be honest. You know, especially now that we've got the K1 robot. But who knows? Who knows? Renegade Productions, 3rd Doctor and Bessie again. Logan Clary, hello, just joined. Hooven Espresso Extra Inferno set with Liz Shaw and Evil Brig. Okay, an Evil Brigadier. That'd be a cool figure, actually. We've had quite a few Brigadiers now. Like, we had the Spearhead Brigadier released twice with slightly different colours on his uniform. Then we had the Claws of Axos Brigadier, again released twice, and the Demons Brigadier, and the 3 Doctors Brigadier as well, haven't we? So we've had like 6 Brigadiers if you count those little variants. Or no, is it 5? Wait, no, 6, yeah. Yeah, so another one. Why not, to be honest? Why not? Why not? So yeah, and one final one from the Celestial Toy Gazer, a Dalek 4-pack based on the Dapol early Dalek set colours. I mean, yeah, Dapol did so many. Is it Dapol or Dapol? I think it's Dapol. The company that made Doctor Who toys before character back in the 90s or whatever. They did some great stuff, like with just basically using the same Dalek mold and just basically pumping through whatever. Like whatever coloured plastics they had going, basically just whatever they had spare. You know, like having Daleks in every single colour imaginable. And I sort of wish character would do something like that. You know, just taking a Dalek mould and just, you know, releasing it in all the colours of the rainbow and like every variation possible, every livery. You know, even if it's not screen accurate or whatever. You know, a bit like these guys. You know. Just take the mould and just go wild with it and just do any colour scheme you possibly can. Which is, yeah, it's sort of what these guys are, because it's like the same sculpt, but just with different colours. Like exactly the same sculpt. They're not changing this up anyway, you know. Even things like the oval on the midsection or the eye stalk or anything, they're not changing anything. They're just leaving it exactly as it is. Which sort of adds to the charm of them. Yeah, they're not absolutely accurate, but that's not the point. They're just a bit of fun. But anyway, massive tangents there, massive tangents. So let's get on to the B&M stuff itself now. I am just seeing now on Instagram, Mondus Productions has used my tier list. Very nice. Some interesting results on there. Some interesting results, yeah. We'll see how mine compares in the end. Okie dokie. So, I'm going to have a biscuit, I think, before going further. Some digestives I got for Christmas. There we go. Just to get myself going. So, yeah, anyone who's joined, please leave a like if you're enjoying it. We're going through all the Doctor Who figures released in 2021. Currently for this live stream. Sorry, not live stream. So, Sensorites sat next up. So we have the First Doctor and 2 Sensorites. I think first of all, you'd go with the First Doctor, I guess. Maybe. I mean, I think for him, I am going to put him in pleasantly surprised. I think a lot of people maybe would put him in, lower down, because he's not particularly accurate. I mean, he's up there on my shelf. I quite like him. I think having the blue cravat makes a massive difference in terms of how he looks on the shelf. The trousers are a bit wacky, but they're sort of like, as other people have said, like the how the First Doctor was depicted in the annuals back in the day in the 60s, with wacky colours and stuff that weren't necessarily accurate but looked cool. So, yeah, I liked him. I'm going to finish my biscuit before I go any further. So the Sensorites, we've got 2 of them here. One of them is the Elder. I think I'll just check double check. I think the Elder is the the one with the sash. I think is the Elder, or like the double sash. I think. Someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong about that. And then the other one is like a standard warrior Sensorite. So. I mean, it's basically the same figure. I mean, just looking at them off my shelf. I don't know which one I prefer out of the 2, actually. I mean, I guess I would say the warrior Sensorite, just because it looks more Sensorite-y, like in terms of what you think of when you see a Sensorite in your head. You don't think of a Sensorite with like 2 bands across him. I feel like for that reason I'm going to put the standard Sensorites higher up. Does he go must buy or pleasantly surprised? I think probably I don't want to put too much in must buy, so I'll stick him in pleasantly surprised. Because I think at the time I did say this as well in videos and stuff, that out of the 2 60s monsters we got on the 2 packs, I think the Vord was slightly more convincing to me, because obviously they use the same body sculpt from like Sharazjek and the Axon Man way back when. So out of the 2, I think that the body suited the Vord better, and you could like see the joins less in terms of it being a reused sculpt. But that said, the Sensorites, we're still really cool. I guess it's just like if you go back to these images, it just like the body build wasn't. It's not quite the same, is it? As as what we got, particularly with the draped trousers and things, and then the shoulders and stuff, and just the general look. I mean, that one is particularly fat, isn't he? So yeah, I mean that is quite different to what we got, but yeah, I did like them. I did like them, and so I feel like I've got to put this guy just below. I mean, you couldn't wait till it's reduced, because obviously you have to buy all these figures together, these 3. But yeah, like, I don't know, the Sashin thing, it's cool, it's great we got it, don't get me wrong, but like in terms of which one is the essential Sensorite, I think it's the warrior Sensorite for me. So that is the first bit set out of the way. The chat is saying, okay, so bit of context on Terry's 4 Daleks from earlier, from Dalek Apocalypse. So a red top, red and black Planet Supreme, yep. Red, silver and black Wicker's World interview Dalek, and another red and black Dalek. Interesting. I wouldn't say no to any of those, to be honest. It'd be cool. Harry is saying on the subject of the online exclusives, he would say the Eighth Doctor TARDIS or another TARDIS set. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can see them doing that at B&M, maybe. I mean, if it required so much new tooling, then maybe they'd do it online. But then again, isn't there some weird stuff going on with the TV movie rights at the moment? I think certainly Big Finish can't use the TV movie TARDIS or Eighth Doctor or anything on their covers anymore. So I don't know whether that applies to the figures as well, whether that rules out an Eighth Doctor TARDIS. Don't know. We have got the Ginger Geek. Hello, Ginger Geek. Hi, Richard. Hey, Richard, sorry, even. Enjoy your videos, really chilled and love your collection. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for that comment as well. Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, for anyone who has joined recently, please do leave a like if you're enjoying this. Please do leave a like. It helps out a lot. And do make yourself known in the chat and give your thoughts on all these figures that we're going through. We're ranking all of the Doctor figures released in 2021. We're currently on the B&M sets. So, let's get the next 60s set out of the way next. So, the Vord set, the Kismariner set. Ian Chesterton and 2 Vord. So, I think... I mean, Ian, I wasn't massively won over, to start with. He's grown on me. Taking a look on the shelf. I'm glad we've got him. I still don't think the face sculpt, or at least the paint application on the face sculpt, is quite what it could have been. But, I don't know, it's very easy to say that. I just don't quite see as much of William Russell in him. So, and the body as well, has limited articulation. Is a bit of a weird match. Has some weird angles on it and stuff. Like the trousers are all pointy, and obviously it's because they're reused sculpt from the Master figure. Loads of people said that the James Lester figure from Primeval might have made a bit more sense. Who knows? I mean, it's a great one to have. Great to have a 60s companion at last. I'm going to put him in... Is it Pleasantly Surprised or Wait Till It's Reduced? I think Wait Till It's Reduced. I mean, it was a great one to get hold of, don't get me wrong. It was a real event, having your Ian Chesterton figure. But I think I'll save the highest spots for this set for the Vord themselves. So, which way around are we going to do these? I mean, it's basically the same figure, isn't it? It's basically the same figure. One of them has I'll just double check because the images there are too small to properly make out. So let's just double check. Yeah, so one of them has a triangle and no dots, just plain black. Then the other one has a circle with a line down the middle and little dots. Little silver dots on it as well, around the torso and around the waist. So, which out of those two do I prefer, or do I just put them in the same spot? I think again, to be honest, in terms of the most iconic look, the figurine collection thought it was the circle one. Didn't mean to do that. I think again I'm going to go with the standard warrior one on the right as being the preferred variant. Just because nice to have these little differences on the other one, the little bits of silver and stuff. But yeah, when you think of a Vord, you don't think of little bits of silver on it, you think of just black. So that was the... Oh god, which one was it? It was... That one, what's going on? This one. There we go. The one sticking out the knife is... Right, that's the silver one. Yeah, so I'm going to put the... Oh, do I put it above the Sensora? I guess I sort of need to, don't I? Yeah, because I said it was the more convincing out of the two. And I was really pleasantly surprised. Well, not pleasantly surprised. Otherwise, I'd been pleasantly surprised. But I did really enjoy this one. Just my notifications. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, what else to say? I think it works really well. That the body, because it is essentially just like like a guy in a suit, and yeah, all the details as well. I love they went to the length of doing the different heads. The heads are a bit thin in the face, like that maybe, potentially, possibly. I don't know. It depends how you look at it, really, but still very nice. The webbed feet are a highlight, and the hands as well, and everything. Just really nice. And the little knife accessory in the belt and all that sort of stuff. Very, very nice indeed. So let's just put the other Vord in, I think, in weights let's reduce. It's not saying it's a bad figure, like none of these are bad figures in the middle column as far as I'm concerned. They're just ones that you wouldn't necessarily need to pick up straight away if you're buying these figures, individually. We've got 35 viewers apparently watching live. Very, very nice indeed. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you are new, if you started watching recently, please leave a like. Please do make yourself known in the comments or the chats even. We have got some speculation about future releases. Celestial Toygazer. I'll start again, sorry. Celestial Toygazer. There we go. Wants some Time Lord Victorious Daleks. Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Time Lord Victorious was a thing. But yeah, the Daleks were a highlight of that, I think. The special designs. So the special appendages as well. Like the claw or whatever, the spiky thing. So yeah. And the Emperor, of course, that'd be really great. So give us those character if you like. Harry really wants a Flux TARDIS with no doors. Okay, it's like from War of the Sontarans where she's going round and it's just like the same panels on each side. That'd be a pretty cool variant for them to do. I think a lot of people would be confused by that if they sort of saw it in the shop and picked it up and got out of the packaging and thought, where's the door? They'd be doing their own little where's the door moment. But yeah, there we go. Just going through things. I can't respond to every single one, otherwise I'll be here forever. Dalek Apocalypse on the Dalek set says that aside from the Day of the Dalek set, has personally thought that all of the Dalek sets were a bit of a disappointment. Okay, we'll be going through that in a minute. It's the first two sets, so we'll see what people think of those. We'll see what I thought of them as well. Custard Time Lord, fantastic name. Will you do a video on what you'd like to see from CO character options next year? Yeah, if people want to see that. I've seen a couple of other people doing it, so yeah, why not? Might as well. Doctor Who Adventures really struggled to get hold of their Marinus set. Oh no. But thankfully they did get hold of it today. Yay. Fantastic. Glad you got that, guys. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so the Monster of Monsters is saying that they thought that Dalek set 5, the power set, was a bit disappointing. 6 was good, yeah, the Day of the Dalek sets. 8 was just weird. That's the planet of the Dalek set. I see a 6. Do you mean, when you say 6, do you mean the Day of the Dalek set? Because 6 is actually the evil set, isn't it? Technically, it goes 5, 6, 7, 8. Power, evil, day, planet, whatever. So I think, yeah. For now. I'll just briefly answer a couple of queries. One query from the good Cyber Leader. Hello. What editing software do you use to make your figure animations? Well, I haven't made a figure animation for quite a while now, but when I did, a few years back, I used the same software which I use now, which is Final Cut Pro. It's a Mac-based software, costs a few £100. It's like a pro version of iMovie, and it has lots of features which make it better than iMovie in many different ways, and just nicer to use, really. Especially for animations where you really need, your little frames that are just like one frame long. You can sort of you can sort of see what you're doing a bit better, and it's just nice to use. So I would recommend it if you can stretch to that. I think there are probably cheaper alternatives available, and certainly if you're Windows based, then you'll need something different. So yeah. Celestial Toygazer, thanks Richard for the sets I received today. Oh yes, so I sent the Celestial Toygazer a couple of sets in response to him sending me the William Hartnell First Doctor Unearthly Child figure. Like a month ago or so now. You've seen it on the channel. Did an unboxing of it. Was very pleased with that. So thank you for sending me that. And you're very welcome for those sets in return. Least you could do. So let's. Okay, Monster of Monsters. You did mean evil. Okay, you thought the Evil of the Daleks set was a highlight. Interesting. We'll be getting through all of these in a bit. In fact, right now with the first two. So history sets 5 and 7. Power of the Daleks and Day of the Daleks. So, okay, perhaps controversially, I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I'm not putting either of these Power of the Daleks in the sort of the lower tiers. I was pleasantly surprised by both of them, actually. I mean, again, just looking up at them on my shelf, they're really nice. It was the set that I left till last to pick up. I was going to wait till it got reduced, and I thought, end of the day, the Dalek sets might not stick around that long because they're Dalek sets. They're rare generally. So I did get it when it was still full price, but sort of a few weeks along the line since they were actually released. Sorry. So, I mean, going with the drone first, sort of more boring figure in this set. I was really pleasantly surprised by this one, actually. Like, it's nothing special, but it is now my sort of go-to 60s drone Dalek with slats. It's just a really nice release. So, I guess for that, it depends where I'm going to put the Mutant Scoop Dalek, because again, I really liked that one. I sort of thought I would do. I mean, neither of them were sort of essential buys compared to some of the other stuff that contains more new tooling and stuff, like your 60s aliens, like your Ian Chesterton and everything. Well, I said I've put like in the mid tier, but anyway. I don't know where I'm going to put these. I think. What do I think? I think the drone has got to go in pleasantly surprised, and then that means the Mutant Soup Dalek's got to go in must buy. I mean, I maybe wouldn't be quite. Would I be quite as strong as that if I was actually like recommending these to someone? Well, maybe. I don't know. Like compared to the Second Doctor and TARDIS, it's not as must buy as that. Like on the spectrum of must buy, but it is a really nice variant, and it's one that we've wanted for ages. There was a lot of hoo-ha at the time about it not actually containing the mutant, but I since heard from the man himself, Al Dewar, who's in charge of the figures, on a podcast he did with Kenny Smith, I think he's called, the Big Finish guy who does the magazine for Big Finish, Vortex. Heard that first of all, if they had put a mutant on the scoop, it would have weighed down the scoop loads and potentially caused problems, and especially if you got it out of the package. And if you had it on the shelf with the mutant inside, the arm would slowly just droop down over time and eventually just like bend and give way because of the weight on the end of it and the plastic they were using and everything. I sort of can forgive them for that myself. I mean, it would have been nice to have it sort of retractable as well, like extendable, because obviously it's quite short compared to how it was seen in the programme, in the episode. Yeah, it's nice enough. It goes nicely with your resolution mutants if you got one of those. But again, personally would advise you to not leave it on the shelf with the mutant in the scoop. Because for the right reason I just described, it will droop over the time, and the arm will no longer be straight; it'll bend. So if you want to keep your Daleks in pristine condition, yeah, maybe don't do that. Maybe for photos and stuff or whatever, by all means put it in, but don't leave it there for a long extended period of time because there will be consequences. So, Sam Fowler, hello. Logan Clary, William Chesterton. Did I say William Chesterton? Apologies. If I didn't, I meant Ian Chesterton, of course, and William Russell. So. Next up, we have the Day of the Daleks set. Day of the Daleks set. So. Well, hang on. I don't know if I should have put the Power Daleks a bit lower down now because these were okay. I'm gonna put. I don't know. I'm thinking ahead. I'm trying to think where to put these two because they were both excellent figures, and they both are excellent figures. I think. Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, the gold. He's got to go in here somewhere. But before the Power Dalek, obviously, I mean, between these two, there is quite a lot of, I'm wondering if I've put Ian too low. I don't know. He's a nice figure, but I wasn't completely won over by him, so I guess it's alright where I've put him. And then your drone, I guess the drone's got to go up there as well. Then there's the matter of where you put the planet drones later on, but we'll get to that. Yeah, these were both fantastic figures. Great to have an updated, Supreme Dalek from this story from Day of the Daleks. Obviously, everybody loved to see that. With the proper paint decoration and everything, and then your first gunmetal grey Dalek as well. What more could you want? Two fantastic figures. The finish on them is fantastic. The sort of metallic-y, shiny finish. It sort of reminds me of like old toys you get as a kid, like with glittery plastic, like things like the Doctor Who rollers from back in the day. If you remember them, the power rollers, they were like made from glittery plastic that had bits of glitter in it. And so it's a similar thing with these. They look very nice and very shiny on the shelf. It's really, really nice, little speckled pattern on them. Let's see what the chat is saying. Monosupreme, hello. I think for the power set they should have gone with a gunless Dalek, seeing as that was such an iconic factor. Yes, in Power of the Daleks. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, especially since they've done a 60s drone again in the Evil set. It is basically the same figure twice. Like, I know there are minor differences, like the eye stalk or whatever. But yeah, that might have been nice, particularly for display. Maybe not practically, but for display it would have been nice. Yeah, I do agree. So, I think I got a bit of chat in the in the chat, sorry, about the flamethrower Dalek. Okay, we'll leave that. You can chat amongst yourselves about that one because I can't be bothered, frankly. 37 viewers, I think, 38 viewers, something like that. Fantastic. Hello, if you've joined recently, we're ranking all the Doctor Who figures released in 2021. Please leave a like if you're enjoying it, and subscribe if you're new as well. That'd be fantastic. To see the subscriber count go up over the course of the stream. I don't think it has done, but it'd be cool if it did. So there's a challenge for you. So So. We are now on to the most recent wave. The most recent wave. Which is mad that we're here so soon, to be honest. Mad. But yeah, we're here. That was all that was released before like December, because obviously they were due in mid-October, but they didn't stand a chance of coming in mid-October. So yeah, what was it like? Was it the end of November when these started to land? They were late anyway. I think it was like, was it the start of? No, I think it was the start of December, wasn't it? Like the first, maybe second week of December. But they only came out this month, which was mad. Anyway, so we have the Earthshock set. First of all, I should add actually that I've got not got all of these. I've got the Earthshock set, the Five Doctors set. Not got the Evil of the Daleks set yet. I will be picking it up at some point, but haven't got it yet. I've got the Planet of the Daleks set and haven't yet got the First Doctor and TARDIS either. So for those, I don't know whether to include them or not really, because I might do. Just based on what I know about them. But obviously, I don't have them in person in hand, so yeah, my sort of judgment of those will be limited to what I've seen online, really. But with the Earthshock sets, by the way, as well, I've got all the ones that we've covered so far as well. I've got all those, so yeah, I'm very familiar with those. But yeah, Earthshock, a very easy one to start with. Then the Fifth Doctor. You know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick him in Can't Figure Him Out. Can't Figure It Out, sorry. Yeah, I've got mine with my muddied Androzani TARDIS from a few years back. Just because those are like the two variants that I'm just like, why? Like, really, why? Why did they release that TARDIS? Well, we know why, so they could then do a clean version of it later and make you buy it twice. With this Fifth Doctor, I can sort of see why they've done it, and to be honest, it did sort of pleasantly surprise me in terms of the paint apps and stuff. I thought it would be a bit more cartoonish, the paint apps, but it's not too bad actually. You know, it's passable, and even the mud on him, like loads of people said, oh, the mud down one side of this figure, which they added just to sort of make him look a bit different. It was like, you know, people said, oh, that's a bit shoddy. It's a bit sort of, you know, random. Yeah, it is random, but I don't mind it. Like it doesn't look amazing, but it looks, you know, again, passable. So it's not actually a figure I dislike. I just can't quite figure out why it got released. I mean, obviously I can in terms of the set, in the context, you know, because you have to have something to go with your androids to make it viable and whatever. And yeah, rather than sculpting a new figure, it makes sense to re-release an old one. So I'm not complaining. Like, he's nice to have, but I think if they release any more Fifth Doctors beyond this point, it will literally be like, why are you doing this? Because, you know, we've now had a season 19 Fifth Doctor without the hat. We've had the hatted version from the Visitation as well. We've had the Androzani Fifth Doctor, so that's 3 Fifth Doctors from B&M in like what? In 3 years. Yeah, we've had one every year, haven't we? Since 2019. So please do stop now. A character with the Davisons. I mean, it's a catch-22 because by re-releasing that figure, we have got 2 figures, and like particularly, well, 2 using that same Axon Man sculpt. We've got in this set and the Five Doctors set 2 figures that do bulk out the Fifth Doctor shelf in terms of monsters. You know, like my Fifth Doctor section of the shelf used to just be like, I don't know, like a standard Fifth Doctor, and then on the front tier, and then it would literally just move on to the Sixth Doctor stuff. Well, there's like an Earthshock Sideman alongside him. So you got your Fifth Doctor and Earthshock Sideman, and then it was Sixth Doctor stuff. And then behind that I had like the Chaos Androzani stuff, like the Sharaz Jack Perry, and the dirtied Fifth Doctor. When like the weird regeneration figures as well. The two versions of that, and then the column TARDIS, the pillar TARDIS as well. And that was it on the shelf. It's basically a load of Peter Davison variants, then like 2 monsters and 1 companion. And now we've got the Third Doctor as well from the 5 Doctors. We've got the androids, we've got the Raston warrior robots, we've got a Cybleader. I'm very grateful, to be honest, that we've got those now to bulk out the shelf and just make it look a bit nicer. And my eyes are drawn to it. It used to be a section of the shelf that I wasn't really too fussed about, but now it's looking very, very nice indeed. I've put the Visitation, the hatted one, alongside the Earthshock stuff. I've got the Earthshock figure over by the TARDIS, and then a little 5 Doctors display as well. So yeah. But in terms of the actual specific figures, in terms of that, the androids, I mean, I have got it twice here. It is actually the same figure, basically, isn't it? Well, I guess you can change the hands. So we've got one here with neutral hands and one with the firing hand, haven't we? Okay, so if we're going to be specific about it, Pernickety, let's say that there's the standard one with standard hands. Standard one, it's that's the one that's not as essential to get hold of, because trust me, the one with the hand. I mean, yeah, sure, they both come with both hands, and so it's not like you can get one and leave the other or whatever. But certainly with that hand on, it's a pleasantly surprised, I think. Pleasantly surprised. I mean, I don't love these figures, certainly not by themselves. But in the context of the story and of the shelf, alongside a Peter Davison, alongside the Cybermen, they do look really nice. I think we could have got away with just one of them, and a Cyberman in the set as the other two figures. That would have made more sense, really. Rather than doing the really weird thing they've done with the 5 Doctors set, where like 50% of them have the Cybleader and 50% have the Cyberman. Bizarre. But yeah, you know what? They're nice enough. They do their job. We will get on to the 5 Doctors set and a very exciting accessory in just a second, but I just want to catch up with the chat first of all. Sam Fowler, some quick fire questions. Do you like the Time Squad figures? Yeah. I do. They're all right. They're a bit weird, but they're nice enough to have. I've only got a few of them myself, and it's one of those things like Micro Universe where I need to go back at some point and fill in the gaps and get them all. But that's something for another time. Maybe for next year. At some point if I get bored and there's no new stuff coming out. And secondly, what's your favourite villain, monster, or alien from Doctor Who? Villain, the Master, or Davros, I guess. And then like for unique monsters, I always say the Flood from the Waters of Mars is like the scariest, or one of the scariest. So you can have that. Mike Searle, despite there being only 11 sets this year, they have brought in new figures that previously existed in 3D printing forums. Sorry, it took a moment for me to understand what you're saying there. Yes, it's figures that people have customised before that haven't been officially released. Yeah, sure. Overall, I'd say it's fair with all the world issues going on. Yeah, to be honest, that's fair enough. I think for a classic era fan, it's like someone who's exclusively into the classic era stuff, you had a pretty good year, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of all of Doctor Who myself, but certainly in terms of the classic section of the shelf, particularly the 60s and 80s sections do look so much fuller and nicer than they did before. So it was definitely the right move in that sense to release these figures. And by the way, I will do a sort of figure collection video at some point in the new year. I'm slowly sort of getting there with like, because on my top shelf, that's like basically all there now, because it's got like these nice like these sort of nice display stands, and then you can have tiers, so you can have, you know, your first tier on the shelf, then some of them standing on here higher up, then another tier behind that, which makes them all visible, but I haven't quite got that on all of the shelves yet all over, so yeah, once I've fixed that, and I'm still getting there, once I fix that, and certainly on the top row everything is visible, I'll do a video about it, because yeah, nice to do. So Ollie Linklater. Ollie Linklater wants a Resurrection Fifth Doctor. Yeah. I mean, for me now, basically, from the Fifth Doctor stuff, it's just the Resurrection of the Daleks figures I need now. So the standard Fifth Doctor and the Has Fifth Doctor from the Toys R Us set, and then, you know, Davros, the standard Dalek, and the Supreme Dalek. And then also the Planet of Fire Master as well, the Anthony Ainley Master. And that's all I'm missing from that era now, which is very exciting. But yeah, the Resurrection Fifth Doctor, I mean, to be honest, if they re-release that, it's an iconic enough look with sort of the reddy orange pinky trousers, whatever you want to call them. It's sufficiently different enough to the other ones that I think I could just about let that slide if they release that next year in B&M. But then that would have to be it. Because they've done so many Peace Davisons now. Whovian Espresso Extra. If I got £1 for every time B&M sold a muddy Fifth Doctor, I'd have £2. But strange, it's happened twice. Yeah, it is strange. Like, especially the Fifth Doctor as well. Like, they haven't done any muddy, like, you know, Fourth Doctor or third or second or whatever, have they? Well, you had your Second Doctor with the torn trousers, I suppose, actually, a bit of mud around him. But yeah, we need some more muddy representation. We need some muddy Jodie Whittaker's, muddy David Tennant's, muddy Matt Smith, muddy Sylvester McCoy. Get on it, character. The Doctor Who nerd got a Sense-Right set in his local B&M for £13. Not bad. Yeah, they are reduced now. So go and pick them up if you haven't yet. Yeah, and a bit of chat in the chat about not getting an Adric figure in the Earthshock set. It's annoying. I can see why not. But then I do agree now that, you know, they've had their chance to do it, to do an Earthshock set. So now, if they do decide they want to do an Adric one day, it'll be more difficult to do that unless they're released in alongside the other 80s companions like Nyssa and Tegan. They can't release them alongside the androids, or because they've done that now. So yeah, it's annoying. They could probably find a way around it, but it's annoying. Dalek Apocalypse. Do you think there should be sets based on Series 7, 8, 9 and 10 of New Doctor Who? Yes, absolutely. Anything you could possibly want to throw at me, do it. You know, monsters that we never got, like the Ice Warriors, the Nightmare and Silver Cybermen, just anything really. Magician's Apprentice Daleks, easy one to do. They'll probably get onto that eventually with the history sets, but yeah. I mean, what would really take the biscuit is with the history sets if they got through all the variants, and then right at the end of History of the Daleks, they finally did the defense drones, and we're like, oh, we've had like, I don't know, 20 sets or whatever, or 25 or 30 or however many sets they're going to be by the end of it. And it's like, oh, we've finally got the budget now. After re-releasing all of these other Dalek figures, we've finally got the budget to do a new sculpt for the skirts of the defense drone. It would really take the biscuit. That I mean, I wouldn't complain. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's the plan, to re-release every other Dalek as the sort of the lead up, the warm up, the countdown for the defense drones, and to finally do that as like the last variant. So yeah. Muddy Morax. I like it, Logan Clary. I like it. So. The Earthshock bomb. Let's finish off the Earthshock set. This is going straight into must buy, and it's going. Well, yeah, I'll leave it there. Yeah, at the end of must buy, because it is a fantastic accessory. I mean, sure, in itself, it is just it's nothing special. In context, on the shelf, it looks great. Just fantastic to have an accessory as elaborate as this, really, contained in a budget set. What more can be said? Yeah, just really great. The highlight of the Earthshock set for me. Yeah, the highlight of the Earthshock set. So, some drama kicking off in the chat. The Doctor Nerd. For B&M 2022 sets, we need to see some companions for the 6th and 7th Doctors. Or a set with the Aliens of London 9th Doctor and prototype Bad Wolf TARDIS. Okay, well, we've had an Aliens of London 9th Doctor in the 13 Doctors set. I guess they could re-release it, like with the blue jumper. Yeah, a Bad Wolf TARDIS would be nice. I think in the past they've said they can't do the modern TARDISes in the B&M line because it's too big or something for the packaging or for the budget. But hey, they could surprise us, I guess. So yeah, there we go. So 5 Doctors. On to the final 4 sets now of the year. Let's get through these. So 3rd Doctor is going straight up into must buy. You can go. I don't know. Where's going to go in this lot? I'm probably reorder my ranking for these as well, like within the tiers. Well, out of all these, if we go with let's go with the TARDIS first and 2nd Doctor, then I don't know. Well, yeah, I'll leave it as it is. Okay, we'll leave it as it is, and then maybe. Yeah, we'll leave the Doctor Warriors, and we'll leave that as it is, because I mean, it's a pretty decent figure. Great to have the possibility now of having open shirts, 3rd Doctors. I mean, he's nice enough. With the best in the world, there's not a lot you can do with him, just because on the shelf there's not a lot. He's a Doctor. In a different Doctor's era from a multi-Doctor story, so there's only so much you can do with that figure. But nevertheless, he's great to have, and again, bulks out the 5th Doctor section of the shelf very nicely. Yeah, really nice to have him there, really. I guess the possibility of other open shirt 3rd Doctors is the most exciting part about this figure, rather than this particular variant. But nevertheless, it is a really great variant. I don't want to downplay that. Raston Warrior Robots. Oh, crikey. I'm going to go. Yeah, it's got to be another must buy, I think. And I think. Which of these two do I prefer? I think he goes above the 3rd Doctor, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, again, like the Sensorites, it's the reused Axon Man body. It's not a perfect fit. If it was going to be a perfect fit, it would have been no creases and no joins or anything. It would just literally be like a one-piece thing, like it was on screen. But that said, it's a cool figure. Thank God this body that they've been using has shoulder articulation like that on ball joints and stuff, and the legs as well, so you can kind of do the actual pose. And thank God they did the little fingers like that as well, where you can have them because that just absolutely makes it, having him in that pose, bent down, like he's about to, kick some Cyberman ass. It's just great. Yeah, I've got him at the front of my 5 Doctors display on the shelf, and he just looks fantastic. So, yeah, really pleased with him. Really pleased with him. So let's have a look next. We have the Cyber Leader. I mean, again, Um, I mean, it's a figure we've always wanted, you know, a classic Cyberman. So I'm tempted to put him in the must buy section. I think I will put him there. Maybe like at maybe there, or maybe yeah. I'm happy with that. Like, I mean, the figure itself isn't that exciting, but it does tick a box. You know, the black handlebars. It's something we've wanted to see on the shelf for a long time, and so it does play his part in making the fifth Doctor lineup all that bit more complete, really. The standard Cyberman in the variant of this set, where like it's 50% of them have the Cyber Leader, 50% don't. They have the normal Cyberman. Look, it's a nice enough figure. I don't own it. I haven't bothered getting the other variant of this set just because, like, why would you buy two versions of the same set, quite frankly? I mean, sure, if you want to do it, then great. But it's just not something that appeals to me personally. I'd rather leave the set for someone else to get. And besides, I can't be done with having two Rasta Mori robots and two Third Doctors in Cape. Because what would I do with them? So I mean, maybe if these sets get reduced and I see one on the shelf, going for 13 quid or whatever with standard Cyberman, maybe at that point I will pick it up. And don't get me wrong, it's a nice figure, but in terms of how it's been released, like if it was released in the Earthshock set, I could have got behind it a bit more. But it's not been released in the best way, in my opinion. With this weird thing of 50-50 that they never actually announced in the press release, so it was like a complete surprise. And also just in the sense that we have had this figure before. I mean, there are some minor differences, I think, but it is basically just the attack Cyberman we got in the B&M set, the Monsters set a year or two back. So for all those reasons, although it is a nice figure, I'm going to stick it in can't figure it out. Just because of the way it was released, and yeah, it was a bizarre one. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad figure, but yeah, in terms of it being a must buy or anything, or I wouldn't necessarily say personally that it's one that's worth tracking down in the context of it being in the Five Doctors set as a variant. I would say go for your Cyber Leader above him, to be honest. The Furious Time Lord Cyberman Adventures. Crikey, what a name. Hi, hello to you too. The Good Cyber Leader. I know character options have made loads of 11th Doctor figures. Yes, they have. But they need to do a green jacket variant from Series 6. Yeah, I agree. That would be really cool. Always quite bewildering why they never did that at the time, to be honest. And they could do a Stetson variant as well, and it would be great. And that was such an iconic look as well. Like, I was 10, 11 when those episodes were going out, and I remember thinking that that costume was so cool. The green coat and everything, so cool. Particularly with the blue shirt and the red tie and everything underneath. Really love that look. So, yeah, it would be great to have that if characters feel like doing that. Yeah. So, we're now on to the final three sets of the year. If you have joined us recently, we've been ranking the figures released in 2021 via B&M and also online. Please leave a like if you are enjoying, have enjoyed, hope to enjoy, whatever. Yeah, please do leave a like if you're watching now and haven't left a like. Just please do it. Love you forever if you do that, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, either live or watching this back. But yeah, with that out of the way, final couple of figure sets. Okay, as I said already, I only own, out of these, the Planet of the Daleks set. So I guess let's do that one first. I honestly can't remember if there's a difference between these two or not. If you know in the chat, please let me know. Is there a difference in the eye stalk or a slightly different size pupil or something with these two Planet Daleks? I don't know. You know, at the time these were announced, I would have no question put them in. Can't figure it out because I was like, why are they re-releasing basically just the drone from Day of the Daleks again with like some minor differences, different eye stalk or whatever. But why they're releasing two of them in the same pack? You know, one of them alongside a Supreme Dalek from Planet of the Daleks. I could have got behind that. But it was a strange decision, such a strange decision at the time. And then, of course, we all realised when they came out that they have this fantastic opening dome feature, which, yeah, admittedly, is a bit lame in the sense that you don't get like a moulded mutant inside, like the Mutant Reveal Dalek or the destroyed Imperial Dalek from Remembrance of the Daleks. It is just a sticker, which it is a bit of a shame. But they're working on a budget, so you know I'm not complaining. It is a really cool feature. They're quite loose. I know that when I got mine out of the box, you know, I pulled it out of the plastic packaging, and it's like immediately the dome had like fallen into the open position. So you know, I have seen some people saying online, I think possibly that's like. It's a shame that they didn't advertise on the box that this was a feature, that they didn't like tell people about it or whatever, and that people could like buy these and not even realise. But I think you would have realised pretty quickly because, as I say, you know, when you take it out of the packet, yeah, the domes just fall into that position almost straight away, really. So. With that taken into consideration, the new feature, I mean, it certainly makes it go up a couple of tiers. I think... What do I think? I think pleasantly surprised is fair, you know. They're sort of a must-buy because it is a sort of a new and exciting variant of the Daleks that we haven't had before. But at the same time... Yeah, I think pleasantly surprised is the right place for these guys. Maybe on the higher side, maybe like. Well, okay, I'll leave it as it is. I'll leave this like ranking within the tier as it is. Yeah, because I'm much kinder to these Daleks than I was, you know, before we learned of the feature. But that said, I think once that novelty is worn off, ultimately, I might not be as keen on them. I've currently got both of them up on the shelf, but when, because it is a matter of when, hopefully, when the Planet Supreme gets re-released, I will take one of them off and just like replace it, you know. So yeah, one of those drone Daleks is very much keeping the seat warm, the space warm on the shelf, and until the time comes when a Planet Supreme can replace him. So they're nice to have. I do like, you know, that I've got 3 gunmetal drone Daleks. It's nice to have like a little trio of those. I think, to be honest, but because the domes are slightly tall and slightly distorted in terms of shape because of the hinge and the new feature, I think ultimately the Day of the Daleks drone does trump them still as like the definitive like early 70s gunmetal Dalek drone. But it's nice to have them. It's nice to have the feature. It's nice to have them. So that's them. I'll just quickly look at what's going on in the chats, and then I'll have a go at ranking these other 2 sets. Like I say, I don't own them yet. I do intend to own them when, in the case of the first Doctrine Tires, when I can actually find it in the shops, because I haven't seen it in the shops yet. And in the case of the Evil set, just whenever I feel like it, really, or when it gets reduced or whatever. I'm not in a massive hurry to get that one, but I think I will, because I've only got 1 Emperor Guard Dalek. I'd like to have 2, just like a little thing, a little symmetry thing, and you can never have enough like 60s drone Daleks. So, the the Doctor Who nerd has suggested a cool sounding set, which would be the Christmas Invasion set, with the 10th Doctor in his pyjamas with a removable hand and 2 Sycorax. Okay, I could get behind that. Yeah, I think they could do the Sycorax re-released with some nice sort of a darker red, maybe like darker burgundy, and maybe like slightly not sparkly, but like slightly with a shine to it, or a nicer finish to it. Yeah, they could do with an upgrade, and then obviously a 10th Doctor in pyjamas. I mean, absolutely, yeah, I would not say no to that. With a removable hand, that'd be really cool. That'd be really, really, really cool. I would like that, and you could have him on the shelf, just like, you know, the thing of him. I can't do it on camera, really, can I? But well, go on then. I'll give it a go. Yeah, there we go. You could have him on the shelf like that, with his sleeve with no hand in it, to recreate that one moment. Or maybe you'd have him lying down on the shelf. You'd have him not standing up, but like lying down with his open cuff, with nothing inside, and the Sycorax like crouched over him with a sword. That'd be a cool little display to do. That'd be cool. Mark, hello. What did I miss, says Mark? Sorry, no need to apologise. We've been ranking the Doctor Who figures released in 2021. This is what we've got so far. And that goes for anyone else that's joined recently as well, if there is anybody by this stage, like an hour and a half into the stream. And yeah, we're on to the final two sets now. So, you know, like I say, I don't own these, but I'll do my best to rank them. So, the Evil Dalek, the Emperor Guard, I think it was due a re-release. I think this should be the last time it gets released, frankly. I would put it in wait till it's reduced, I think. I mean, sure, if you don't already own this figure, then go out and get it. But personally, for me, because I own one of them already, you know, it's not the end of the world. If I got this one straight away. For the drone Dalek, I think I'm going to put it in Can't Figure It Out. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's a bad figure or anything, but we've had 2 of these guys released this year. I know there's like minor differences in terms of having a 70s eye stalk or something. But to be honest, it's not like an essential buy. Like personally now with my shelves, I only have 1 of each Dalek design. Just because of space. Otherwise, I'd have like, you know, 3 Death Planet Daleks all together, and like a massive display, and then like, what else? Like 2 Chase Daleks, whatever. So yeah, I've currently only got on the shelf 1 like 60s drone with slats. I've got the Power of the Daleks one on the shelf, and so this is another one where it's like, oh, okay, you know, it's not one that I would go out of my way to make space for on the shelf, because it's just too similar to the other variant, really. So you know, it's a nice one to have, I guess. Well, it will be once I've got it. But not essential by any means, especially if you've already got the Power of the Daleks set. It's really not an essential one, I would say. So yeah. There we go. And then we're on to the final set of the year. Oh no, I've lost my page. There we go. Sorry, that's a behind the scenes thing. The final set of the year. The first Doctor and TARDIS. So, the TARDIS, I think, straight away has to go into must buy. I'll put it right to the second Doctor TARDIS there. I think, you know, obviously I don't have it in hand yet, but from what I've seen, it is one of the best ones they've ever done. Yeah, it looks pretty stunning, to be honest. Not much else to say, really. New windows. Shame about the St. John's Ambulance thing and the licensing, about how it can't be a proper sticker anymore. It has to just be like a sort of weathered version of it, like an imitation of it. But hey ho. Yeah, it's really nice to have the new windows, the new roof. It is the definitive sort of Hartnell TARDIS now. I think everybody can agree on that, really. The unconventional polymath, yeah, thinks that the other Dalek in the evil sats, the drone, should have had the letter A written on it to indicate that it's a human factor Dalek from that story. Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. I've seen a few people say that. Yeah, just to make it a bit more different, you know. So that leaves us with one last figure of the year. One last figure. If you are still here, please do chip in and help me out with this one. I mean, I am biased with this because, you know, I was very lucky to get the original version of this figure last month, courtesy of the Celestial Toygazer, who has been in the chat. Not sure if he's still around or not, but yeah, that was great. So, and in comparison to that one, this does pale in comparison, you know, quite literally, because the skin tone makes him look anemic, quite frankly. It's a weird sort of, I believe, again, I haven't got it in hand yet, but I believe it's sort of similar to the Monster of Paladon Third Doctor, which again was quite a pale figure with like a sort of very pale pink, sort of almost like yellowy, grey skin tone. I have to say, I have warmed to it a bit from the photos and stuff I've seen. I don't think it's quite as bad as it could have been. It's a bit baffling, you know, why, particularly given that the Sensorites First Doctor, you know, earlier in the year wasn't that pale. You know, I mean, on the other side of the coin, you know, the original release does look quite tanned. You know, so neither of them are absolutely perfect. You know, there's a balance to strike there in the middle of the two, in terms of like your oversaturated one and then your undersaturated. So that's a bit baffling, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. I can get behind it, I think. Again, you know, a bit baffling why they didn't include the cape, but yeah, it makes it a variant, I guess. So, not complaining there. Makes the original a bit more unique. And I didn't paint the cravat as well, which was a bit strange, but again, you know, there's only so much you can complain about really with that. So it does look like quite, no, I wouldn't say a nice figure, but perhaps a little bit better than I thought it might be. I mean, the real proof in the pudding will come when I pick it up. And then I'll be able to give a revised view on this figure. But I think, it's not as bad as it could have been. I mean, at the end of the day, it is an excuse to get, you know, your Hatted Hartnell with his donut blazer, and the original version of this, it is so damn rare. So yeah, I don't blame people for liking this. I'm gonna put it in. I think wait till it's reduced for me. Yeah. Like, if the TARDIS and the First Doctor were on sale separately, I'd probably wait till it was reduced. But obviously they come together. Yeah. There we go. So that is it. Like an hour and 40 minutes later, we have got a complete tier list for this year's Doctor Who figures, 2021 figures, from B&M and Character Online. Yeah, so fantastic stuff. As I say, yeah, I mean, if you fancy giving this a go yourself, doing your own ranking, the link is in the video description for this video. I do hope you've been pardon, have a drink. There we go. I do hope you've enjoyed watching this, and yeah, watching me rank these figures and stuff. It's been good fun. I've enjoyed it, doing a tier list. I might do more tier lists in the future, to be honest. It's a good format, I feel, to sort of have a bit of a chat about things, and yeah. So that's the tier list. I will just stick around for a bit longer if there are still people here. If there are, well, it says there's 27 of you. Yeah, please make yourself known in the chat with any questions you might have for me to answer, either related to the figures or just generally, really, because this is the last stream I'll be doing this year. And yeah, in terms of other videos, there will be a Christmas collection update video tomorrow at time of recording. If you're watching this video back, then it's probably already out by now, so go and check it out. Yeah, going through all the presents I got, Doctor Who presents I got this Christmas. And there'll be a December collection update shortly after that, probably in the new year now. And of course, stuff to do with Eve of the Daleks as well. Certainly like a live, well, not live reaction, but like straight after the episode, a sort of initial reaction. A review with Miles at some point as well. Probably on his channel, I think. So yeah, lots to look forward to, and then obviously going into the new year as well. We'll just see what happens really. But yeah, I'd like to do more collection-based videos. Like, I don't know, I need to do a room tour. I've been saying I will do for ages, literally for years. So I need to do an updated room tour. I need to do stuff about, my figure shelves, collection video, and like updated DVD collection, and I don't know, like a Target Books collection maybe, or whatever. So all that sort of stuff is on the agenda really for the new year. So let's have a look. We will keep going until maybe, I don't know, maybe not quite until 11. Sorry, not 10, 11. But maybe sort of until just before, maybe like another 10 minutes or something. So, quick fire questions. Mark wants action figures of the Sash Dhawan Master, the Lone Cyberman, the Ruth Doctor, the Dregs, and Jodie in her prison suit. Yeah. It would be great to have more current era figures. It really would. And Gat as well, the Furious Time Lord Cyberman Adventures wants a figure of Gat. Yeah, it would be great. It's hard to tell whether they're going to actually do it or not, because as this tier list shows, it's been so classic heavy for the past year. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can at least get like Ruth and the Master before the end of this era. That'd be nice. Ben Miller, do you think Matt Smith should do Big Finish? Yeah, if he wants to. I think they all will eventually. Like, even Christopher Eccleston's done it now. It's just a matter of time in terms of whether they've got more interesting stuff going on, more like lucrative stuff going on, like doing Hollywood or whatever. I know Matt Smith in particular has been doing a lot of stuff, like, in the US and whatever, and films and things, like compared to the other Doctors, and Dave Tennant as well, I suppose, to an extent. So yeah, it's a matter of time. Maybe he'll come back to it later on in life. And so with Matt Smith, I feel like obviously like he was one of my childhood Doctors, but I feel like the more time goes on, I don't know. I still like the 11th Doctor and what he did with it, and I like watching them back. But I feel like Matt Smith himself is sort of he's like he's turning into something quite different from the 11th Doctor in real life, which is interesting to see happen, really. Like becoming a film star and all this sort of stuff, and then just shaving his hair and stuff. Yeah, I think out of all of them, he's one that I don't know. Would he still have that doctriness if he came back to it? I guess he would. I guess he could find it again. But yeah, like I do feel like out of all of them, he's the one that's sort of deviating from the Doxley path the most, perhaps. So we'll see. Pipsy Productions, hello. Pipsy Productions is here, fantastic. Mike Searle is suggesting some tier lists for the S-tier sets. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I'd like to do more, definitely. Pipsy Productions, will you be getting the K1 robot? And Phil Atkins asked when the K1 is out. Yeah, so the K1 robot, yes, I'll be getting it. I do own the original release of that and the Fourth Doctor. But yeah, I'm a sucker for the new variants. So I'll get them. They're different enough. It is meant to be out, Phil, in like mid-January, I think is the official word. But given that the waves this year, I mean the one that was due in mid-August came out in was it like late September, early October, something like that, and then the one that was due in mid-October came out in early December. So if that's anything to go by, then the K-On! Robot will arrive in like March. To be honest, it's anyone's guess. We'll just see. We'll lower the expectations and then just hope for the best and be pleasantly surprised if it comes any sooner than March. Logan Clary got 2 Ood figures for Christmas, plus Ood Sigma. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. They're fantastic figures, the Ood. Fantastic. A bit of chat about figures not selling and stuff. Like, I don't know. You know, you can't really use that argument for the current era stuff. I feel, you know, particularly as they've been putting out so little current era stuff recently, you can't use the argument that they don't sell. I mean, even this year's stuff. Just to give an example, you know, everyone went mad over the Sensorites and Vord sets. Yet the Sensorite set in particular, is peg warming a bit now. There's loads of them left on the shelves. I've seen that in stores that I've been in. That they're trying to get rid of. So you know, it happens every year that the sets are reduced. It happens every year that there's always one that sticks around. I mean, I think the Earthshock set is going to be the next one. You know, like a few years ago, it was the Silver Nemesis set. That was everywhere. Like long past the time it was released. So yeah, you know, they need to give it more of a chance. I think the current era stuff, they've not given it enough of a chance. And like, yeah, you know, if they did like a Defense Drone Dalek or a Master or whatever, or a Fugitive Doctor, they would surely sell because they're such iconic characters and they're so wanted. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. That's my 2 cents on that. Pips Productions got their first figures this Christmas. What figures were they? Very, very nice to hear. Very nice to hear. So let's run this one to a close then. Let's bring it to a close. Thanks a lot for watching. If you've been watching live, it says there are still 29 of you watching, which is great to see. Please do make yourself known in the chats if you're still around and you've been enjoying it. Please leave a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. All that sort of stuff. And yeah, happy nearly New Year. Which is what they say in the Eve of the Daleks trailer. Happy nearly New Year. Yeah. Because we're not too long away now, and this will be the last stream I do this year. So yeah, I guess sort of thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching the other streams I've done. If anyone is here that has watched those as well, we'll definitely be doing more of those in the new year. And just generally thanks to everyone that's watched over the course of the year. If you're a long-term viewer, great to have you along for the ride. And do stay tuned for more stuff in the new year. Alright, Spooky Productions got the Sensorites, the Vord sets, the TARDIS from Robots, and the unit set. Fantastic, some fantastic sets to start off with there. Oh, that's really great to hear. That's great to hear. James Topboy, will you do a Eve the Daleks live watch along? I'm not planning to be honest, like a live reaction or anything. But I'll definitely do like a like an initial reaction video. I guess I could maybe, in the past I just an audio for that. I guess I could use my webcam and just do like a quick video for that as well. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, whatever way, you will get my thoughts, my initial thoughts on that in some form. Then there'll be a review, a fuller, in-depth review with Miles a few days later at some point. So, happy nearly New Year. All the best for 2022. Stay tuned tomorrow. There's going to be a Christmas collection update coming out. Look out for that tomorrow. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this stream. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Bye.